Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Resident Evil 4 as we close on the island at the end of the game.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women.
Your regularly scheduled reminder that this game is made in 2004.
I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar's dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small time.
Oh. Writhe in my cage of torment, my friend.
Yeah, the level of disses in this game is not brilliant, to be honest, and I don't know how he can call him a small-time subordinate when he took over 40% of the game. But anyway, we're fully tooled up with a bunch of new weapons, so let's take the opportunity to show them off. First things first, we're coming up on what looks like some kind of base over here. And firstly, we've got to climb through this little cave system. The evil music is kicking off immediately, so this is not a game that's going to give us a bit of a respite before we head into combat and puzzles. They are coming up fairly swiftly. First though, we've got to divert past that walkway and climb up these rocks here. And within these boxes, we get 1100 pesetas, but more importantly we get the emerald, which is the sort of third tier of the spinal velvet blue emerald triumvirate. It's obviously worth a larger chunk of money than either of those, and we'll find them lying around the place. Next, we push over this rickety bridge. Well, firstly, we hear some mysterious yelling. Next up, so we can hear Ashley whining somewhere. She's not immediately within our grasp, but we'll get to her soon. So, going to go over to my semi-auto rifle for the moment because we've got some. Yeah, there we go. So we're closing in on her. But unfortunately, we have some enemies to push through first. This is not going to be a chapter that lacks of bullshit jump scares, frankly, as we just heard. Good opportunity to test out the semi-auto rifle, though. Provided I don't repeatedly miss. There we go. Oh no, there we don't go. There we go. Well, anyway, you see that the rifle is still not particularly suited for close-range engagements, but it does at least have a faster fire rate than we're used to. These guys are going to be the bane of our lives as we push through Chapter 5, because they are incredibly tough, fire very quickly, and can deal us a huge amount of damage in one go. They've also, as well as their obvious chain gun blasts, got a rather nasty melee attack if you get up close to them, so you do need to be careful, and they obviously, as well as attacking you directly, can pin you in place while the other Ganados come and get you, so just going to quickly flash grenade this guy. It's a good opportunity to show off the power of the new and improved Red 9. So, it took an entire clip, granted, but that guy who is basically a mini-boss that drops 15,000 pesetas for killing him on his own is now down without getting a hit in on us. So that's a very valuable investment we made there. Get a decent overwatch position on the remaining Ganados. A few of them are probably going to come up the ladder, so we'll have a good opportunity to blast them in the head. Oh no, we seem to be safe for now. So you'll see we've got a new type of Ganado here. They're neither the monks nor the villagers, but dressed in this kind of military fatigues. And that guy wants to axe as a question, so we're just going to take him out. Keep him pinned on the ground, at least for the moment, while his headburster appears. And there it goes. Newly upgraded striker, very useful taking those guys out. You may hear a buzzing sound in the background there. That'll be the guys with cattle prods who can deal us a rather hideous amount of damage at one hit if they get to us. They've also ramped up the scariness on the voice acting for this level, which is very helpful of them. That guy's got a helmet on, which means he's impervious to headshots, which is not hugely realistic, but at least you know, we know it at this stage. Fully upgraded Red 9. These guys do not cause us too much of a problem. Those of you who remember the stats from the beginning of this game may remember that the Red 9 now does more damage than the standard shotgun that we find in the opening level. Uh-oh. So here come the shields. Managed to take that guy out immediately. And you'll see, with our little shooting gallery there, Chapter 5 is no joke. They really don't go easy on you. And the evil music seems to have faded, so I think we've taken them all out for now, but that is not an easy fight to begin the mission with. And unfortunately, we started to mean to go on, because this is, you know, they really want to make you aware that you're in the last throes of the game at this point. So you'll see on these two buildings we've had these mirrors, and they are going to be the source of the puzzle to get through to the next section. So we'll head up here. See that this gate cannot be opened right now, but we shine a laser on that first mirror. And we've got to get it into that notch here, a sensor window, as the game calls it, on the other side of the gate. So it's an easy enough thing to do. So we'll just rotate that one over to reflect off the second mirror. Still on Resident Evil puzzles here, so this is not going to be anything too mentally tasking. Then by rotating the second mirror, we can get this door open. So we'll head through here, and as well as this sandbag wall, we've got another opening available to us. You'll see there's a rock up there. That's going to become germane information in a second. One of the easier quick time events of the game, but one that you want to keep half an eye on. Bit of a top up on the old ammo there, and head over another narrow rickety bridge. These guys are not ones for health and safety, evidently. Very close range ambush here by a guy with a crossbow who will take out first, and his melee friend who doesn't appear to be armed, but is still, you know, a bit of a risk at such short range if you can't get an accurate shot off early. Got a ladder here which we're going to want to climb up to get through to the next part of the level, but also going to be worth just heading down here quickly to see that this is how we would see if we hadn't been here originally, if we hadn't known about them originally, that this was the location of the emerald and the ammo that we found earlier. So we've kind of gone round in a loop from where we were at the start. So climb up through this ladder, and I can hear the zapping of cattle prods and see someone's hand and a mace there, so we know we're going to be on combat duty fairly swiftly. So quick reload for the shotgun, and so that guy's down. We've also got what looks like a spotlight up there, which seems to be invulnerable to our bullets from this range. That might be the hitbox on the tower, or it might be that it just can't be shot out. I was under the impression they all could be, but not quite sure. No, seems to just be impervious. Oh well. Just going to hop through this window so we get under a bit of cover, and you'll see we've got some guys in boiler suits with gas masks for added creepiness. They've gone full horror in this little room. There's no particular reason lore-wise for them to be wearing that, I don't think, but, you know, this game has to go for maximum scares, I understand that. These guys actually are a little bit easier to tell if they're going to go headbursty than some of the other Ganados, because if they've got red eyes, that means a headburster is within. If they've got green eyes, you're good to go. It's like traffic lights. Oh, I thought I saw one behind me, but it's apparently not. If I shoot that barrel, it'll blow up that rock blockage. You see the stupidest potential death in the game here. You've got these spikes. When you jump up and climb on here to get this treasure chest, you can jump down directly onto the spikes and die. It's not something I'm going to be recommending, frankly, but, you know, you've got to be a bit careful when you climb down. There we go. That's basically this chapter's equivalent of the Elegant Mask and so on, where you've got to find 3 things to go in the divots and sell it for a higher price for treasure. I don't find it particularly great, to be honest, because by this point in the game, treasure slightly ceases to have much meaning, because you're generally about as tooled up as you're going to need to be in terms of weapons. We got ourselves a guy with a rocket launcher there, who is a bigger threat immediately than the guys with the crossbows, although they still need to be taken out. So a dynamite guy there, he's got a helmet on, so you need to be a bit careful, but if you shoot him next to a ledge, you can deal with him appropriately. I wonder if I can deal with the spotlight now I'm here. No, apparently not. Well, in any case, we've taken out those guys and cleared our way through to this upwards ramp. Same rules apply as with the monks and the Ganados. Shoot them in the knee or the leg and they'll go down and you can run past them, creating a little bit of a choke point. So some shotgun shells and the green herb. Unfortunately, we backed ourselves in here, so we're just going to have to hold the fort, as it were. But we've got a fully loaded shotgun, so I reckon we're fairly well equipped to do that. Close range shot there, takes down a couple of them. Got a cattle prod guy there. Dynamite guy here. He'll explode when he dies, I imagine. So stay out of the way of him. And there goes, I hope, one of his friends. I can hear their footsteps, so they're clearly closing in on me. Yeah, there's one. There's at least 2 of them. 3, looks like. No axe in the face for me. I've got arms. And down they go. So fully upgrading your weapons, very much worth it by the time you get to the end of Chapter 4, because it's you're going to have a tough time into Chapter 5. I don't even know where that guy came from. I had absolutely no inkling that he was behind me, and I'm now on a terrifyingly low amount of health, so just going to quickly use this health spray. Oh, managed to get dynamited immediately after using the health spray, so going to back off further and retreat to a defensive position. Ah, he's up there. He's not anymore. So now he's down. Looks like our next job is to deal with Cattle Prod guy. He's a head burster because he's got the red eyes. Or apparently not. Okay, every time in this game so far that I've assumed that something is guaranteed to be a head burster, it's turned out that it's not. So you should just kind of, every time I say something like that, assume the opposite. The old exploding barrels asset is available down there. So we can use that to just make sure the coast is clear. Where did you come from? Good lord. Where did they even spawn? That was terrifying. Oh, well. Quick heal for me. Keep an eye around the corner just to make sure no others are coming in. The evil music has faded, so I think we're safe. But I wouldn't put it past this game to pull a fast one on me. Bunch of treasure here, so we can, you know, get some things from the merchant as we go through the level. It becomes less important, as I say, but, you know, there's still occasional uses. And with that, we'll push this button and open the second gate. Speaking of the merchant, we got our first encounter here. Don't know how he got over here. Maybe he's just a really good swimmer.
Welcome.
First things first, let's sell what we've got so far. We've got a bunch of TMP ammo we're not going to be using, so that's 7,000 pesetas there.
Thank you.
Got a spinal, and 2 of the emeralds, which are worth 3,000 each. Plus we've got the golden links. I'll try and get the treasures for that. I'm very bad at remembering where they are, so I probably won't get all of them. But it's worth, you know, exploring. So upgrades-wise, we've got an upgrade available for the semi-auto rifle and its capacity, which might be worth doing. Let's also see what is available here. So we've got a treasure map for the island. I don't generally buy this, and to be honest, as I say, by this point in the game, having lots of treasure is not all that useful. There's a new Magnum available, the Killer 7, which is based on another Capcom property for the Nintendo GameCube, which we might have a look at some point, actually, because it's a Suda51 game, one of his earlier ones. And I probably will not bother with it, because I haven't got great use out of the Broken Butterfly. It's more powerful than the Broken Butterfly, and it's got slightly higher capacity, but it's so late in the game and it's so expensive that I don't find it all that useful. So I think for now we will, leave that be. What we can do is get some upgrades for the striker and striker or the rifle. I think the striker, getting that up to as high firepower as possible, is going to be a good avenue for us to go down. So that'll be my upgrade for now. Oh, we've got just enough to upgrade the capacity on the rifle, so I think that's worthwhile as well, just for the extra ammo. And we'll move on. So there's some guys waiting for us. Good opportunity to test out our new rifle capacity. So no crossbow in the face for me. Tried to do a trick shot and shoot that guy as he dropped down, but they're all standing in a nice neat line now, so we can shoot them all at once. Down they go. Headshot for him. And that should start to clear the way. We have little notches in the walls here we can hide in from the crossbows if we need to, but we managed to take the more direct route. So we find ourselves inside. Things are getting a little bit messy and disorganised in here, whatever scientific facility this once was. They don't seem to have painted the walls at all, which is a little bit sloppy in my view. There's absolutely no sound, which makes this rather terrifying. That door's locked. We might come back through the other side at some point. Around the corner, I bet there'll be enemies. No, just a skip containing a grenade. Oh. The evil music has begun. And I can see a gas mask hovering behind that door. Nice try at hiding, pal, but you're not going to get me. You can get kicked in the head just as soon as anyone else can. There you go. And that's some shotgun shells for me. There's some really nice detailing on the interiors in here. Lots of these sort of rotting cans and, you know, non-perishable supplies. Plus a nice green herb for us. Just going to quickly top up my health because, you know, things can get a bit hectic in Chapter 5. Right, through here, you need to brace. Because something's going to happen. Are you braced? Are you ready? That scared the absolute shit out of me when I was a teenager playing this game for the first time, and I bet you're glad I spared you the experience. Because if you look at the oven, what was he doing in here? It's not an invalid question, Leon. You've shown some aptitude for knowledge this so late in the game. Yeah, we've got some dirty water in here. Don't really know what this was used for. There seems to be some kind of food preparation kitchen area, but in any case, through this door. And we hear Ashley again. So we're closing in on her. Things are moving in the right direction. And, yep, our first introduction to these big lads. They're armoured. You have to hit them on the head. It's the opposite of the guys with the helmets. And they've got these big clubs, which you really don't want to get in the way of. You can also shoot them in the crotch. It's just their chest that are armoured. So that takes that guy out. And we'll want to head down into this cellar. But there are enemies that are going to ambush me immediately, including a big lad. And a lad with a crossbow. So he needs to go down while his pal is on the floor. Crossbow guy with his headburster can go away, frankly. Oh, and we got a shield guy as well, who's armed with a mace, which is obviously not good for my health. Quick flash grenade at the wall here, I think, just to get everyone off my back. And time for the shotgun. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to take them down. And yet, now that Plaga is live and kicking. Oh, and he's managed to grow a headburster as well. Brilliant. So we're not doing brilliantly on the ammo preservation front here, frankly, but I'll take him out with the rifle, grab that handgun ammo, and down here, under the stairs, we've got some shotgun shells and a yellow herb. I think there are other treasures located in this room as well. I just need to hunt them down. If Ashley would stop shouting for a minute. Yeah, they seem to be eating something. It seems like dog food or something. I think that's kind of implied. These pallets of bricks as well. So in this case, there we go. We got the redstone of faith. I thought that was down here. That goes in the links that we found earlier. There we go. So we got a golden links with the redstone. There are 3. I can't remember for the life of me where the other 2 are, but I'll get them if I can. So through this gate, I'll get to this area full of blackboards. I don't know. It's some kind of store cupboard.
Ashley. Amateurs. Just hang in there, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
Okay, so we weren't actually as near to Ashley as we thought, it seems. We get a bit of a puzzle here where we've got to run around and find our way through to her. It's not all that difficult, if I'm honest. I think I can remember it from muscle memory, but just quickly scout around here, make sure we haven't forgotten anything. No, looks like we're good. So we'll head through here and proceed with Operation Rescue Ashley. There's some ammunition belts on the side here, so clearly they've been preparing for my arrival for a little while. So grab this rifle over from here, and we've got another date with the merchant. So there's nothing I need to buy from him for now, I don't think, but I'm going to head through this door and do the little shooting gallery, and we'll see if we can get some extra money out of that. So we're at the castle this time. Right, so I've done the sniping missions off screen because they were basically the same circuit as the rapid fire, and I'm going to claim some prizes. 2 more bottle caps. No extra cash prize for us, and frankly, it's a tedious enough minigame that I can't be bothered going to get the entire last row, but let's see what we've got anyway. So on the top row, we managed to get some Chapter 5 enemies. Soldier with stun rod. There we go. And what's this guy called? Soldier with hammer. And his hand on his crotch, apparently. So after that entertaining diversion, on with the level. So one thing the merchant is now selling is the tactical vest. This is 60,000 pesetas, so it's a fairly hefty chunk of change that we don't have right now, but reduces your damage by 30%, and it becomes quite invaluable towards the end of this mission. So that's something we're going to be saving up for. For now, we've got to head out here and avoid ourselves some explosions. Now, the tricky thing with these guys is if you go out there, you'll get blown up by the dynamite. If you go near their door, they'll shut the door on you, so you can't go up and attack them at close range. So it's a sniping mission this time, I'm afraid. And unfortunately, one of them's wearing a helmet, so you can't just headshot him. The other one's not, though, so yeah, the ideal is that you blow them up while the door's closed, and then you'll clear your way through. But I think if you go towards it, yeah, there's a second round, so you want to be a bit careful, because I think these guys have crossbows. Yeah, that's right. Ow. Yeah, thought I'd get hit by at least one of them. One's down, though. Oh. Okay, he's got himself a helmet. So good excuse to upgrade my health, but make sure not to do that again. Rifle is an effective way of dealing with them, though, I think. That's one down. Oof, another hit for us there. I'm getting really bad at taking damage in this run. And that's the other one down. So now, we should be free to proceed through. I have a horrible feeling there's another one that hides around the corner. Thought so. Wasn't good enough to get out of his way, but I knew he was there. I thought he hid further back, which is a bit annoying. Oh well, burst head there without getting an actual head burster. And some TMP ammo in here, which is fundamentally useless because I don't have the weapon it's for. But I can sell it for cash down the line. So a bunch of pesetas there, nothing hugely important in terms of... You can see how they were operating the screen here. They got this guy sat on a folding chair, pulling the switch every time I came close. Which is quite a nice touch, I suppose. So, through this door, and we're on a stairwell. We've got a few different routes here. We've got this door here, which takes us back to that initial corridor. If we want to get back to the beginning of the level, we can do that now. Green herb here, and this little ante-room here has a save point on it, so we'll just drop a quick save, just for the sake of safety. And this box here, which has a brass pocket watch in it. That was the treasure we could get out of the filthy well right in Chapter 1, which proves that they are sort of running out of treasure ideas at this point, I think. Operating room that way. Okay, so that's going to be where Ashley's going to be going at some point. So I don't hear anything right now. Oh, I think I know which bit of the game we're in. It's not my favourite, I'll be honest. Incendiary grenade there. Yes, indeed. So, we're in this chilled sort of science lab kind of place, and you'll see there's a body on the slab there. Not the first body we've seen in the game, but this one's a little bit different. So, first things first, we've got to break our way into this room, and this involves a very simple puzzle. Go from the arrow to the other arrow. It's fairly simple, to be honest. And there we go, we are in. That's not a very robust security system, frankly, but that lets us in here. So we've got this plagger that's sort of in frozen animation attacking this guy. Not quite sure what happened there. And we got to get the freezer card key. Now that is not good, because we'll hear a crashing sound outside, and we'll find Luis's memo. This is from when he was a scientist here. He worked on these guys. The hideous creatures such as the El Gigante and the Devistadors are merely byproducts of the diabolical and inhumane experiments conducted on the specimens that were once human. But there's one type of creature that clearly distinguishes itself from the rest. These creatures are called Regenerators. I've never seen anything like it. It is this characteristic that makes them almost invincible to conventional weapons. But like any living creature, there's a way to kill it. Apparently there are plagas that live in its body, somewhat like leeches. They can't be seen with the naked eye, they can only be located through thermal imaging. To stop its regeneration process, these leech-like plagas must be located and then destroyed. As far as I know, most of the Regenerators host a number of these leech-like plagas. To kill the Regenerators, each one of these leech-like plagas must be killed. Okay, so we're going to have to go up against one of these guys now, and as you'll have noticed, we don't have any thermal imaging software. What we do have is an incendiary grenade. So quickly set fire to that guy, and it'll knock him down. If we're lucky, you can actually kill them with the incendiary grenades, but for now, we seem to have just got him out of the way, and we're just going to leave this room. He's not a problem for us now. Unfortunately, others of his kind are, and you can hear their breathing down the corridor. There's a reason I don't like this bit of the game at all, frankly. So those incendiary grenades, we've only got 2 of them left, but they are going to be invaluable to us. So our solution is in here with this card key. It's the frozen cold room. We've got a couple of them on the slab here, not immediately a risk to us, but keycard writer there. So that rewrites the keycard, and I think that reanimates them. And yep, let's bite the bullet and do the keycard rewriting. Gets us the waste disposal card key. So we'll head back out into Regenerator Land. Not a fun place to be, frankly, but one that we have to go into. So another case here, that gets us another emerald, so that's 3,000 pesetas, and there's a regenerator down the corridor, so if we can quickly... You have to make sure not to knock these guys over, because it makes them quite dangerous, but we can sort of take chunks out of them and sort of distract them for a second. So with the card key, we can get through to the waste disposal, and we are temporarily free of the regenerators. Unfortunately, I'm a bit confused by that. Right, yes, sorry, I've realised I entirely forgot to get the vital item from this room, which is unfortunately going to require us to take out that regenerator, at least for the moment, so that we can get past him and back into the freezer room. Because there's something else in here. Firstly, we've got a green herb, which is quite necessary. If we look in there, we've got this shiny item, which indicates something important. I can't quite find... Ah, here, so if we turn off the cryogenic freezing, that... Yeah, well, for one thing, it releases the thermal scope, but unfortunately... Yeah, we've decryogenized some more regenerators, so we're going to have to get the scope, and that door locks, and unfortunately, yeah, we're trapped in here with one of them. Now, this is a good opportunity, however, to show off how these things work. So, we've got the scope, got a rifle, equip the rifle, combine the rifle with the scope, and now we've got a rifle with a thermal scope. So, we quickly get out of this thing's way so we get a bit of space, and if we can pull up the scope, you'll see the pluggers inside their body. We have to shoot them quite directly, and once we've done that, yeah, they have this rather satisfying bursting animation, and that releases the lock. Now, you might be thinking, what happens if you run out of rifle ammo? Well, then you're kind of stuck, son. You've just got to run past them. There are ways to destroy the regenerators. They're not completely invincible. You can still kill the pluggers without knowing where they are using the scope. If you just blast them randomly with a TMP, you can also do the same job. It's a massive waste of ammo, and I wouldn't recommend it. But if you have to kill them before you get this thing, it can be an effective way to do it. Or similarly, if you're using some of the super weapons from the post-game, if you're using like the Chicago Typewriter that can just deal huge amounts of damage at range, that can be a good solution as well. So just going to quickly... going to have to take this guy out because he's in the way. Okay, so he's no longer a problem. By the way, the higher the difficulty you're on, the more pluggers there are in each of them. So that's one thing to bear in mind. But you're sort of advised to run past these guys as much as possible anyway, because the ammo limitation is a real problem. Into this control room, and we get to take command of this overhead crane, which looks rather fun, sort of thing I'd like to do at school. And we can grab a few of these guys and dump them into the trash compactor. It's like being in Star Wars. Anywho, I'm going to go for the melee guys because the crossbow guys tend to be less dangerous. But much like playing a UFO game in an arcade, we only get a couple of goes at this before our credits run out. Oh, we missed the third one there, so have to deal with those remaining two who are going to come up and have some crosswords with us, frankly. So through they come. And we'll dispatch them without too much difficulty. And over here, we can find some treasure from the guys we dropped before. So it's quite a long way down, and it leads us to the lower levels of the facility. We're not going there quite yet. Bust our way through here, and through this narrow corridor. And I think there's some more enemies in this room, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful how we go, but a shotgun should be able to make short work of most of them. Oh, not quite yet. Just in a moment. So we've got all these laptops here. There's a bit of a weird technological disconnect about when exactly this game is set. I presume, because they've got CRTs, but they've also got laptops, so I presume it's like early 2000s, which I guess is when this game came out, so that kind of makes sense. Anywho, we hear this banging and shouting from Ashley, and this time it's actually real, it's not just the CCTV. But to get to her, we've got to go through these big lads. Now, they're not too tough, particularly if you've got a shotgun, because they're fairly slow-moving, and they're not invincible by any means, so... Gonna just chuck a quick grenade at them. Back over to the shotgun. Quick few shots at their legs and heads, and they'll go down. Yeah, alright, I'm right here, Ashley. There's no need to keep doing that. Right, so, find her door here. Is it locked? It's probably locked. We need a card key. Okay, fine. So we'll go through this door here. I hear the zapping of cattle prods, which means we're not going to be having a fun time in a minute. We've got a few grenades and some magnum ammo ready to deploy should we have to. Yeah, we've got a bit of a group fight here, particularly these guys, and in combination with the crossbows, they're not a whole bunch of fun, frankly. Oh, that is not good. Ah, there's a shield guy as well. It's not a fun combination. They've learned to sort of use combined arm tactics against me. Well, whatever. They're all vulnerable to hand grenades, so just deal with this guy. And that plugger there. And we're sorted at least for now, till the next wave comes up. Another one coming up the stairs. Just got a mace here, so he's not too hard. But who can boot him away. I think more will spawn once we go down the stairs, so we're not quite out of the woods yet. But I might go grab that ammo that's dropped from that guy over there, just to top myself up. Okay, and through this door. I think in this little side room here, yeah, we get a little mini heal and a save point, so I'm just going to make use of that. And here's where we really want to go. So it's another lab. It's another lab with a spooky thing in it. Yeah, things aren't great. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's one of them. And it's a different one of them. It's a one of them that we don't want to have to deal with, frankly, but needs must. So, rifle out. Plugger 1. Oh, missed Plugger 2. Plugger 2. Plugger 3. Plugger 4. And then the fifth one, frustratingly, is on his back. So, there's a few ways we can deal with that. I reckon a well-placed incendiary grenade might have been able to get him, but apparently not. Plan B. Shoot his leg off and just blast him until we get the plugger. So that gets us the storage room key, and yeah, that was our first Iron Maiden. Do you get why they're called that? It's because they're covered in spikes. Clever, I know. So there's this chest over here we'll just go and quickly get, and that's... it's only got some rifle ammo in it. I thought it might have been another gem for the links, but apparently not. We can smash all these sample cases if we want to just be destructive to science for no reason. Although I suppose the kind of science they're doing here, they probably shouldn't be doing, so, you know, we're probably doing the world a favour. Some healing items here. Can't smash the cases on here for some reason. Curious. Open up that storage locker, which for some reason has rifle ammo in it. Some more pluggers that have been experimented on here. That door just opens itself. Okay, so that storage room key, we need to go and retrieve Ashley, but there's a sort of optional thing here, which I find is kind of worth doing, just for the lore. So we head out here, we find this familiar sort of control tower that we saw in a cutscene a lot earlier. Oh, there's some crows up there I could have wiped out with a flash grenade, but oh well, too late for that now. Also, we got a nice appearance from the merchant here. I think this was an optional one, but always nice to see a friendly face. Or a sort of amoral, surly face. So we're getting up towards being able to afford that armoured vest, which is going to be a very nice addition to our repertoire once we do get it, but we're not quite there yet. So in 20,000 pesetas time, we'll go see him at his next location and get that rounded off. So we've got some kind of radio control tower here. There's no enemies here, don't worry, this is just a lore thing.
This is Leon. Request backup. I repeat, request backup. Damn.
So, yeah, no help is coming for now, although that situation will change shortly. Plus we get some extra shotgun shells, which is rather nice. Well, I think there might be enemies waiting for us on the bridge back, so we may end up down more ammo than we came with. Nice sort of vista over this industrial facility here as well. Doesn't really map that well with what we know of what's in the rest of it, but nice bit of scenery. So that done, let's go back and get to the point of this game, which is rescuing the president's daughter. We finally got to her final kidnapping location, and everything should be fine now, right? I hear the buzzing of more cattle prods, so we're going to have to do another big slog through this room on the way back. Under all circumstances, suppress the guys with the crossbows as your top priority, because if you do not, they will screw you over. Now that we've done that, shotguns for these blokes. Now we got the world of plaggers now. I think we've got enough flash grenades and they're enough of a hassle that this warrants one, just to take those guys out swiftly. And one bloke left with the crossbow. We can pick him off with our handgun. Wondering if there's treasure behind these stairs. It would be a sort of Resident Evil 4 thing to do. Yeah, not treasure as such, but some shotgun ammo, so that's useful to have. A horrible feeling someone bursts through this door. No, apparently not. Things are relatively calm for now.
Leon!
It's our ball and chain.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Drop a quick save there, and that is level 5-1 done. So let's push on, and I reckon we can get 5-2 done today. But first things first, we get this mysterious paper plane flown in through the window. Who could this be from? Lipstick gives it a clue. Perhaps you might have figured it out already. but you might be able to get out of here by using the waste disposal vent. Thanks, Ada. Well, I hear the buzzing of our lovely friends in the electrical embrace of their cattle prods, so we got a little bit of a fight on our hands. Our first Ashley battle of the late game. And they're not kidding about, they really do want to get her back. Ooh, including chucking farm implements at my head, which is very chapter 1 of you. Oh good, the pluggers are on the loose. Okay, well they're down. We get a decent amount of ammo out of these guys at least. Another axe in the face, honestly. Where are you guys storing all of those? Ashley's health is as it was when she was last kidnapped, which is down a little bit, so I'm just going to quickly top her up. It'd be useful to expand her health bar a little bit in the levels to come, frankly. Okay. Right, so that guy goes and shuts the door, and we've got to deal with them. But easy enough at close range. Uh-oh. Nice ducking, Ashley. Well done. First time you've been useful all game. Oh dear. We're not quite as free as we thought. And these guys have helmets, so they're not that easy to take down with headshots. Oh good, nice time for a reload. Okay. Fortunately, shotgun's powerful enough now that at close range, a good body shot will do almost as well.
Looks like this is it.
Ugh, it stinks.
Sure does.
No way, Leon.
Way.
Are you out of your mind?
I knew you'd be fine if you landed on your butt.
You...
Not the only thing you've landed on.
What is this?
Come on, let's go.
Yep, it's a one of them again, another Iron Maiden.
What is that thing?
So, just going to quickly tell Ashley to hide in the bin, as we've been doing all game so far. And back over to the rifle. We've got 7 rounds in order to take this guy out. Going to quickly utilise that barrel. And now we face the challenge of getting the one on its back. I don't want to show you how these guys' attacks operate, because that would mean getting close enough to one that it would become a problem. So I'll just... Oh dear. Yeah, that's how it works. And somehow that's survivable at least once. Quick health top up. Not sure if these guys are vulnerable to... I'm not sure if these guys are vulnerable to flash grenades, so I didn't use one, but yeah, down he goes. So we get 20,000 pesetas out of that, which is enough to buy us the tactical vest, so I think it was worth taking that hit, don't you? Now that we've dealt with that guy, we're under a lot less pressure to get this done. Note that there's never really a moment in the game where you're forced to take out the Iron Maidens or the Regenerators. You could do a fairly good job just running past them and escaping. You'd have to be quite good and possibly topped up on health products, but if you didn't want to upgrade your weapons and so on, that might be a useful avenue to go down. Right, so we've got another one to deal with here. Unfortunately... Oh no, we got more rifle ammo. Okay, good to go. You hide behind me, Ashley. And there we go. You don't want to knock those guys down prematurely, because they can move really, really swiftly when they're on their front and sort of doing the worm. So you want to be a bit careful. Add Ashley's muscle to our own to get this thing out of the way. And if I recall correctly, through here we're faced with another horde battle. Oh no, it's a big lad first. Relatively easy to deal with using the Red 9. As is that guy. Collect all this treasure. Stock ourselves up for the battle to come. Including a green herb. We've got a decent stock of those now, so we should be able to take care of Ashley should we need to. And in here... Yeah. We've got our next puzzle. We're going to have to bash our way through. Unfortunately, there is a giant wrecking ball, which can be used to do that. Keeping Ashley safe is going to be the problem in here, because there's no bin for her to hide in, so you've got to kind of... it's easiest, I find, if you get her to operate the wrecking ball. Then try and guard her as she does it. I think you have to do it 3 times or twice. Lots of projectiles going on here, which is not really to our advantage. Going to use the shotgun to clear those guys out. Oh! And someone's after Ashley as well. Ah, it's one of the big lads. Okay. This is not a great place for us, frankly. And I think this is one of those bits of the game that has infinite spawning. So you've just got to kind of focus on getting the wrecking ball out of the way. If I could get some time to reload my shotgun, that would be ideal. Uh-oh. Okay. Quick heal up for Ashley. Things are getting a little bit stressful, if I'm honest. Okay. Another crossbow bolt right in the face. That guy's getting on my nerves, so he's going to go down. That guy's a headburster. Oh, and another big lad. Oh, for goodness sake, Ashley. Okay. And another wrecking ball hit for us. Okay, and that's down. Let's go. At least they've hit me rather than Ashley there. Alright, come on, love. And let's get out of here. I'm not dealing with any more of them. That's one of the toughest fights of the game if you're not prepared for it. And it's really, it can get really unfair, particularly if you're really low on ammo. So, I can hear the rasping of the regenerators, but we're free from them at least until we open that door. So, good opportunity to reload all my stuff. I've only got 4 rifle rounds. That's something of which I'm extremely conscious at the moment. So, I'm hoping we can find some more in here. Aha, yes. 3 there. That's enough to take out at least 1 Iron Maiden. Or possibly 2 or 3 normal regenerators. Incendiary grenade there too, if we want to do some area damage to them. Ashley, stand back.
Wait.
Yep, here it comes. And it's a normal regenerator, thank goodness for that. Okay, there we go. That's down. I don't think that's the only one in this area. But it's at least 1 less for now. Ashley, you stay there. And down it goes. Again, I am now acutely aware of once again being out of rifle ammo, but that's hopefully something we can resolve soon. I think there's an Iron Maiden in here as well. If that comes up, I'm just going to run from it, because honestly, this just eats ammo. There's a button in here. Okay, that lifts one of the shutters partially. I wonder if there's anything in this. Yep, there's some shotgun ammo in there as well. Okay, very nice. That lets us push on, and Ashley can crawl under there. Which you'd think there would be more danger than it is, but there's nothing there immediately, at least. I'm pretty sure there's something nasty hiding in here. Oh, no. Oh, there's something nice hiding in here. Okay, it's a merchant location. I didn't know this one was here. I don't think I've ever been in here before. Interesting. Huh. It's just a typewriter and a merchant, but
Welcome.
he seems to have set up his blue flaming torch, which he needs to advertise it himself. Definitely not going to sell the infrared scope, but we've got 100,000 pesetas, so I'm going to pick up the tactical vest. Doesn't take any inventory space, but you'll see that Leon's now wearing his sort of armoured gear, which will hopefully help him keep a little bit more safe than he would do otherwise. Doesn't help Ashley at all, I don't think, but, you know, that's Leon's problem to deal with. Position Ashley there. I'll stand here. And there we go. Nice easy puzzle.
Wait.
We're in a flickery room with a big vehicle. What do you think is going to happen here? I think it's going to be a vehicle section. Yeah, particularly as it's stocking us up on ammunition. Well, nothing for it. Let's get this done.
Leave it to me, Leon.
Oh yeah, Ashley, who knows how to drive a massive forklift truck. That's never explained. It's not even questioned. Still, it operates pretty similarly to the minecart in that you want to destroy these guys before they show up on your truck. I am, however, going to de-equip the thermal scope because it makes normal aiming a lot harder. Ah yes, so in this bit they come up behind you a lot, which obviously makes keeping them off the truck a bit of a priority. The shotgun's useful for that. Just knocking them off their feet before they come and get you. Now obviously it means you do lose out on treasure doing that, but I think the real treasure is not being hassled. There's one down there who clearly wants to get on board. Oh, but he's not the only one. There's more of them coming along. Ah, yeah, there are some who jump down from above as well. We've got to be a bit careful of them. Unfortunately, they're fairly flimsy because they're so numerous. I think the game kind of depowers them a little bit. Uh-oh. So, our first duty is to set fire to this truck. You have to be very swift with that, otherwise it will crash into and kill you. Particularly now, where we're relatively low on ammo. So just blast away with the pistol here. And there we go, managed to avoid the worst of it. Unfortunately, we've got a static bit here, because we've got to use this vehicle lift, and I'm out of shotgun ammo, so that's going to make dealing with this a little bit difficult, particularly as they're now going to be after Ashley as well. Basically, speed is your best friend here. You want to just get up and moving as swiftly as possible before the enemies come and swarm you. If I can get a knee shot here, I can... Oh, apparently they suplex, just like the monks. Well, in either case, we get invincibility frames, so it lets us deal with them a little bit. Okay, so lever pulled. Lift's activated. Let's just get back there and defend, actually. Oh! Ambush there. But you can see we are taking less damage than previously, so the vest was a good investment. No pun intended. Oi. You get off her. There we go. Right, we're safe for now. I'm low on ammo, but I'm high on pesetas, which is not the way around I would prefer it to be at the moment, frankly, but we'll do what we can with what we've got. Okay, so we're back outside, and we got some bridges to pick guys off from. Oh, we got a few guys trying to ride on the back as well. No freeloaders here, I'm afraid. Fairly easily taken down, though. Might actually increase our ammo supply a little bit, which would be quite helpful. Another couple of guys up there, easily dealt with. And we see the full array of this industrial facility we're dealing with. It's actually fairly mighty. I'm surprised the Spanish government did not clock it was here before. Off you go, lads. Ammo supply getting a bit dangerously low. Uh-oh. Another truck. This is not going to end well for us, frankly. And yeah, that is the end of our latest vehicle section. Frankly, for the better, because it's not a very fun one, but we do at least survive. And as well as noticing that the truck is completely totaled, and therefore not going to be much use to us anymore, we have a fortunately unblocked door we can go through, and this is getting a little bit more homely. It's sort of like living quarters. 5,000 pesetas in there. We've got some art on the walls. We've got some furniture. Grenade hidden in a cabinet, as you do. And some sort of plaque here, which I can't quite read. Plus rifle ammo here, but crucially, another merchant.
Welcome.
And I'm going to use the opportunity to tune up the capacity on the striker, so that's up to 28 maximum, which not only gives us a bigger capacity, but it also refills the shotgun ammo that we lost in that battle. So that's going to be quite useful in the mission to come.
I can feel them growing ever so strongly inside you.
Sadler!
Perhaps you can resist, but you cannot disobey. Now, come to me, Ashley.
Ashley!
Is she going to explode? Or is that just some sort of tracker? Which for some reason, despite the fact that it's beeping audibly, he doesn't notice.
It's already begun.
And there we are, the end of Chapter 5.2. We're making decent progress through the end of the game here. Chapter 5.3 is where things get a little bit more intense, shall we say, but we got this level to push through, and then we'll be nearly done with the island. So, I think for now, I'm going to fall back to the merchant room and drop a quick save. We're now Ashley free for the final time. And with that, I will leave it there until next week, when we will be very likely finishing off Resident Evil 4. Except for the special weapons and other fun stuff episode that I do as a sort of epilogue. But, for now, thank you for joining me. I've been Robin, this has been Digital Wilds, and this has been Resident Evil 4. If you've enjoyed this, consider subscribing so that I can help grow the channel, and have a think about subscribing on Patreon at patreon.com/digitalwilds. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.